Welcome back to Peter Thunderfuck's channel. This is gonna be my first reading rainbow, the reading rainbow of gay energy and gay books that I love. But they're not really gay books, but gay as in fun. So, let me bring out the first author, Robert Iger. It's called The Ride of a Lifetime. The Ride of a Lifetime! Lessons learned from 15 years as CEO of the Walt Disney Company. So I first read the first chapter, and now I'm gonna summarize it for you, because there's how many pages are there in here, Robert? Because it is fascinating. You learn about optimism, courage, focus, divisiveness, curiosity, fairness. Aw, to Willow, this ride would not have been possible without you. Kate, Amanda, Max, and Will, thank you for your love and understanding, and for all the joys you have given me. To thousands of Disney cast members and employee past and present, my pride in you and appreciation of you is boundless. Wow. So let's see how many chapters are in here. Chapter 14. So every day I'm going to be reading a chapter. So that's 14 chapters. So yeah, 14 days. It's going to take me 14 days to read this. They have the prologue, where he came from. So let's get into this interview, dive in deep with Bruce Wayne of Disneyland, Disney World, because I'm all about optimism, courage, focus, divisiveness, courage, fairness, thoughtfulness, authenticity, the relentless pursuit of perfection, and integrity. Those are all adjectives to live by if you want to run your own company. Crazy. Starting at the bottom. Bottoming. This is funny. Thank you, YouTube. This is my first YouTube, and let me know if you like to bring back the reading rainbow. And let me be the gay spokesperson. There are certain ways I've always been doing things I've always done that are results of some mix of nature versus nurture. I always woke up early, for example, as far back as I can remember, and cherish those hours for myself before the rest of the world wakes up. There are other qualities and habits that are the result of purposeful decisions I made along the path. As in the case of many of us, those decisions were partly made in response to my parents, in particular my father, a brilliant and complicated man who shaped me more than anyone. You get it? Our families, they shape us. Yes. He certainly made me curious about the world. He had a full books on his shelf, and my dad had read every one to me. Wow. We lived in a split-level house in small, mostly work-class town in Long Island called Oceanside. Oceanside. Oh wow, he's from Atlantica. Atlantis. Oceanside. Bruce Wayne is from Oceanside? Robert. I was the older of two kids. My sister is 3 years younger. My mother was warm and loving, a stay-at-home mom until I went to high school, to which point she got a job in a local junior high library. My dad was a Navy veteran. Really? Ooh, thank you for protecting and servicing us all these years. who came back from the war and played the trumpet with some lesser big band. But he figured he couldn't make much of a living as a musician, so never tried to do it full time. He majored in marketing. Wow! The University of Pennsylvania. His first job was working in a marketing for a food manufacturing company, and that led him to advertising. Wow. So you got that? University of Pennsylvania. Then he went to advertising. He became the accountant executive at a advertising agency on Madison Avenue. He handled the old Milwaukee and Bushwick bowling accounts, but eventually lost his job. It's tough out there for a pimp. He changed agencies several times. Also, later moved. By the time I was 10 or 11, he changed jobs so many times I began to wonder why. Why, Daddy? Why? He was always deeply political, engaging, and had a strong liberal bias. I love his liberal bias. He once lost a job because he was determined to go to the March on Washington and see Martin Luther King Jr. speak. Wow, that's profound. I want to go see him. Travel back in time. His boss would give him the day off. His boss wouldn't give him the day off, but he went anyway. Ooh, what a rebel. I don't know if he quit and went to the speech or if he got fired afterwards. I was proud of his strong character and his politics. He had a fair sense of what was right and fair. He always was on the side of the underdogs. Go Underdogs. But he also had trouble regulating his moods. He would often say things that he got in trouble. I later learned that he was diagnosed with manic depression. Manic depression is a severe epidemic in our world today. And, don't forget to check your mental health. See a physician, because we want to eliminate shame, any shame about mental health. That's my view. He tried several therapies, including electroshock therapy, and treat his illness. As the older child, I bore the brunt of his emotional unpredictability. I never felt threatened by his mood, but I always was aware of his dark side and felt sad for him. We never knew which dad was coming home at night, and I can distinctly recall sitting in my room on the second floor of the house, knowing by the sound of the way the door was open and shut, the door, and walking up the steps, whether it was a happy or sad dad. Little baby was so crazy. That's so crazy. He would sometimes check in on the way past my room to make sure I was spending time productively, as he put it. Aww. Page 6. It was part of his way. It is part of what... Sorry. It is part of why he pushed us to work hard and be productive, so that we might be successful in a way that he never was. His employment's trouble meant that if I wanted to have any spending money, I needed to find my own job. Poor little baby. I attended Ithaca College and spent nearly every waking night my freshman and sophomore year making pizza at the local Pizza Hut. I got mostly B's and a few A's in high school, but academics was never my passion. Something clicked in me when I went to college. I was determined to work hard and learn as much as I could. I could learn, and I think that was, too, was related to my father's a function of never wanting to experience the same sense of failure that he felt about himself. I didn't have a clear idea of what success meant, nor specific vision of being wealthy or powerful, but I was determined not to live a life of disappointments. I mean, wow, that's so powerful. I mean, like, growing up at that age, he was ready, had a sense of what disappointment was, what failure was. Jeez, I mean, children, they're like a sponge, and they take up and soak